Can you hear me okay? Better than last week?
Hello all, thanks for having us here. I'm Leslie Hume. I'm Jeff Landers McDougal. I'm the president of the Friends Organization, and I'm a member of the museum committee. So we want to make sure that you're aware of our upcoming events. On Saturday, August 5th, we're having a Kingston Museum's Heritage Day flea market. This is our annual flea market that's going on for 15 years. Then on October 14th and 15th, the Kingston Museum's Autumn Fest and Craft Fair. In addition, we're celebrating Nichols Memorial Library's 125th on Saturday, June 10th at 1 o'clock, and we hope that you will all attend. We'll have a small reception for that. June 10th, on Saturday, 1 p.m. We'll have a long picnic or something with all that. But we're here to ask the Friends will be, it's a fun, all the events are not the celebration, but the two events in August and October are fundraising events, we hope, for the Friends group for the museum. I've already spoken to Richard, Greg, the fire department, and the police department, so we're always starting dialogues about our ideas for these events. And we thank you for directing me back to the town ordinances to make sure that we were following things, and I called Susan and we found the right form, which will be a facility use permit, which will complete for each of these events. But our request tonight is to make sure you don't give our days out to somebody else as we know doing some things. We're not sure how these events will shape up. We want to keep the August weekend going. We've had this flea market event, as Jeff mentioned, for 50 plus years. We have a lot of vendors who were there for Kingston Days and hopefully will continue with us. It's been our principal fundraising activity for the Friends, but we're trying to branch out. I spoke with the OTC car show people who did that on Kingston Days weekend in August for the Kingston Days committee. Unfortunately, they are not going to be doing events in Kingston anymore for a variety of reasons, but they're willing to help give us advice. We hope to bring back the car show because we know the public out there, they love that part of the Kingston Days event, and we'd like to have that aspect come back, so we'll see. In the fall, we hope to have a craft fair and bring back something that a lot of people miss, which was a Junior Women's did an outstanding event. And so we're hoping to recreate that and maybe add some things to that. And we're working through, we spoke with Elliot, I spoke with Kevin about possibly having beer at that event. And I've been in touch with the state and they're walking me through the licensing part. And we are getting quotes for our event insurance and liability, which is in the works, and they haven't finalized all their quotes, but we're doing all of that. But our principal goal today is just to ask if you could reserve those dates for us in August and October as we pull things together.
Susan, you can map those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking for it. The only other thing I requested was for the congregational church, but that's very tentative. I think I may be very tentative. Just a preliminary request that they have. They wanted to use the Chase Field too.
Well, I thought there was even more in there. They didn't even push it from the school in Chase Field. It is what it is.
Are you conflicting dates?
I don't know.
July 24th.
Yes, that's what we want to
Very good.
No, we need to feel.
In working with Pete's rental toilets, he's given us an estimate for the toilets, so we have all that worked out with him. For the type of event we're planning, they think about 1,000 people. His experience, it seems to be the guy who runs the toilets knows. So, and he's a good planner and has a lot of experience with first-time event organizers and doing things. So that's in the works as well. So thank you, Richard, for getting me on that trail to understand what was required there.
Do you guys have a budget for these events?
Yes, I should also mention that the expenses for these events will be handled by the Friends. There's no town money involved. It's a Friends fundraiser and a Friends event. But obviously, we work in coordination with the committee to make sure that we're supporting them the way they like to be supported and that our goals what they would like, what the committee would like to see happening at the museum. So,
I'm sending you a contact that you may want to check with
okay,
pricing.
for,
Porta potties.
okay, thank you, okay.
I would hope that the fall event would be very successful, because I think there is a need for the craft fair, and it's good that you're bringing it back.
Yeah, a lot of people have always mentioned that, and we hope in the future people will say, hey, we're going to the Kingston Museum, it's Heritage Day, or we're going to the Kingston Museum's Fall Fest. And just like they used to say, the junior women's craft fair. Our goal is to get exposure for the museum, and of course the fundraising.
Good. Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. Any suggestions? You know where we are, great.
Public comment number 1. Seeing none. Committee liaison reports.
I got a phone call from Recreation. They're looking to do an Easter event that I think would be very, a very good idea. They want to do an adult Easter neighbor hunt. So, Paul was here to speak if he had any questions, but I was saying, he was asking if the board would be okay with it. I said, it's not a good show, but I don't see a problem.
I have one question. What makes an adult Easter egg?
Or shouldn't we ask?
No, it's just, it's for adults versus everything, usually everything's for children or whatever. This would be for adults, it'd be gifts to kids, it'd be, bargain tickets. He's gonna go hit up different venues in town, and that. Hampton did it last year, it was very successful. They limited it to, I think, 200 people in Hampton. Yeah. So, it would be limited to the first 100 that sign up, and they would pay a fee to enter it, but, it's they would get in the base.
So we're coordinating with that. Why don't you come up to the mic? One of the things I like is we're coordinating with the draft house. So it's going to be, if people will register in advance, then they'll come in and check in the draft house. We'll have to pay somewhere in the recreation property, probably in the playground area or the sand or something like that, and we could go inside if it's raining, and then come back with the little raffle tickets to see if they won. So they come back, so they create, business for the draft house, and they have a musical bingo after that just sort of will flow after that. So I like the idea of working with them. They seemed excited about it. It's not positive they're going to do it, but it sounded pretty good. They had a staff meeting today, but I wanted just to check to see about raffling things off. I was thinking of charging like $20 and raffling off things from local communities. We could even buy some stuff, like Kevin said, like buy some raffle tickets, get some things to really get people excited about coming. It's just nice, like you had said, it's to try to get adults out doing burgers. And I think that, associated with a restaurant, kind of make it at that time of year, you never know, it could be raining, it could be snowing, who knows, so. And it's after Easter, which seems a little strange, but I think doing it before Easter, it gets busy. Anybody with any, church affiliations or whatever is gonna, be busy that week, so we figured afterwards, kind of a nice release from all the busyness of the holiday week. Sounds like a good idea. So you can sign up right over there with me afterwards. You have to be present when we're out.
Yes,
Oh, I thought you got to buy raffle tickets separate. Well, and believe it or not, adults do this, is that at Hampton, when there's eggs, they would open them up to see if there was something good in them, and it didn't actually say a prize, but they tried to figure out, like, does this color mean this, or things like that. So that's why I figured the raffle ticket was good, that it wouldn't be, and it's happened everywhere, they just open stuff up, no good, it's kind of sad. But this way, there's no reason to, you just grab whatever, 5 eggs or whatever, and you have raffle tickets, because you don't know what's going to be picked. So, sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I look forward to, like I said, working together with another business in town.
It's a good idea.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
it's a purpose, but nothing else.
The only thing that I would have, and Phil's here to explain it, but there's going to be a change in the waste management contract and amount of money. And Phil can best explain it later on.
I don't think it's a change in the contract, it's a change in the understanding of the contract.
It's an extra charge.
Right.
Yes, however you want to put it, but it's going to cost us money, it's what bottom line to it, so.
Okay. I've had no meetings, so I don't have anything. Old business.
We're gonna have Phil.
I think it's on here later.
It's not on the agenda, is it?
It's
Phil,
not,
you want to talk about that, or, I mean,
now the time to bring that up, it's in the email today, and, the budget numbers are not what we thought they were. Therefore, they'll be under budget, over budget.
So just to recap what was in my email, typically we get 2 billings from Waste Management, one for the collection, one for the disposal, which is the tipping fee. We got a third one that did not look like Waste Management billing, and after going round and round, convinced it was a scam. It was actually the recycling processing fees, which is what we had fought under the previous contract, and were included in the new contract. This was where our blended value was derived from, so if we had X amount of cardboard, we got paid X per ton. So we had kind of 2 issues going on here. After this third building was verified, it was about 20% over what was anticipated for billing. And 2 things have taken place. The commodity value for the recycling is about 81% lower than what it was when the contract was signed. So the initial budgetary numbers that I ran, I figured it was 50%, because as we all recall, we were trying to keep costs down and not just coming up with random numbers. So that has been off by 31%. The other side of this is when the budget committee was going through and kind of zeroing in on the electric numbers, the heat numbers, and apparently the sanitation numbers. So they came up with a different number than what I had proposed. And that number was $50,000 or $53,000 less than what I had proposed. All through December it was that number, and then at the end of December in one of these meetings it was changed. So as it sits right now, the tonnage and the commodity prices stay where they are right now, will be 80 to 85,000 shy.
So it's the 53,000 plus another 30 for the commodity difference.
yeah.
Overall, $85,000, but 53 of it is the overcharge on the,
So the number that is in the proposed budget is about 53,000 under what was originally proposed by the Department of Public Works. So that's one of the problems. And then the other problem is the commodity prices tanked far below what our planning considerations allowed for.
so right now you're anticipating a shortfall of $53,000?
83,000.
83, that's why I was.
80 to 85.
Plus another 30.
Yep. So we got the tonnage report from Waste Management for February, and December and January are typically very heavy months, as well as July. So 80 to 85 is our worst case scenario at the moment, but I wanted to make the board aware of that.
Now, would the recycling center help us any at all, like we've talked about having
It would, to a point, because we would not have to pay the pickup charges, which is where, you know, the disposal fees, they cut us quite a substantial break on the disposal fees. So we're paying less in disposal fees than we were under the old contract. So, and what we went out and took a tour of the Rochester facility. They have, if we just did cardboard and we're bringing that up there, that would be basically a direct credit. Because right now, they have a formula they use that takes into account numerous municipalities, and they just take an average of that. So I believe they're factoring like 21% of our loads are cardboard, which may or may not be the case. It's just thrown in together because we're such a small municipality for them. If we were bringing tons of cardboard up there, we would receive a direct credit from that.
So when we had the meeting with him, I learned for the first time that glass is something they really don't want.
Correct. We're getting charged negative $76 a ton to recycle glass.
Okay. So that's something that maybe we can start a flashcard on our TV screen for the few people that watch it, and just, I know we've tried to show that at elections and stuff, but you know, everybody that's drinking bottled beer, if you start drinking it in an aluminum can and everything, well.
And the other side of that is they would provide a dumpster for cardboard or for glass, and then they would just charge us the hauling fee to bring it up to be processed.
You can still separate glass, we don't want to put it in the trash, because if we put it in the trash, it's going to increase the weight, and
As it sits right now, recycling is a lot more expensive than trash. So when in doubt, throw it out is kind of my mantra at the moment.
So now we want to throw glass away.
It would be cheaper than recycling it.
Wow, that's pretty sad.
Do we get less of a credit due to the quality of the recycling? Because I know there was some talk that if cardboard and stuff is all wet, it's not, it doesn't have value to them?
So,
Do they classify it like that, or is it?
short answer, no. We're allowed up to 10% contamination.
Yeah.
So people throwing dirty diapers out and, plastic film and things like that all add up to that, but kind of one of those things where being a small municipality helps us is we're not really contaminating enough to be on their radar. So we're not showing up enough over 10% to warrant them hitting us with contamination charges.
I wasn't sure if it was like, if you leave the covers on your recycling open and all the cardboard gets soaked, do you not get credit for any of that, or does it contaminate the whole truckload, or I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, they don't have it dialed in that hard yet. It is getting to that point. Their trucks are becoming much more digitized, so where they have multiple cameras on there and they can see what is going into the truck every time they dump. And they have a lease truck in town right now, but when the one that is designated for Kingston is built and here, it will have those cameras on there, and they may or may not start getting a lot more in the weeds on contamination.
One other thing for the public that we were talking about last week was that if you get a label on your recycling where you've done something wrong, the label's supposed to stay on there because the bin belongs to waste management, and I'm guessing it triggers it as a problem site, or has been a problem site.
Yes. So they're developing a system where they've actually confiscated one recycling barrel that we're aware of. It was someone who was repeatedly throwing just like dirty diapers, just nasty stuff in there that they're just not taking anymore. So they took their recycling bin away. That was done independent of the town, with our permission, because it is their property. And it just costs us money at the end of the day. But we don't have a process set up. That's something the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee is working on. There's two types of stickers. There's an orange one to tell you if there's something in there, just a small one that's to tell you if you put something in there that's meant to educate you. And there's a larger one that is supposed to be on there to tell you what specifically can be in there. So those do need to remain on the sticker or on the barrel. But one of the goals of the recycling committee has been to dial down in the contract what is actually recyclable, what is actually going to stay recyclable, because there is language in the contract that gives them some outs, and they can suddenly decide that we're not taking, random example, number 3 plastic. And if they decide that, that suddenly becomes a contaminant. So that would quickly bump up our contamination numbers. So what we've been doing is, one of our members has basically been making an item-by-item list with visuals of what is actually recyclable so that we can get that information out to the public. I mean, I was slightly joking about when in doubt, throw it out, but honestly, unless it's something that provides a value under their, blended value system, it really is not worth putting it in the recycling bin.
Okay. Anybody else?
What are we gonna do financially for the shortfall?
I think we wait until after next week to address.
See where all our budgets are at.
No.
Yeah, I would say we probably want to fast track the collection point to get cardboard, to isolate recycling, to get these items kind of.
So would that be a manual drop off for folks, like, we'd have almost like a transfer station?
Yeah, what was being considered was like once a month people could come just because of the sheer volume of boxes that people get or, you know, things like that. We would just have a set place where people could bring those things and then we could transfer them to dumpsters or have the dumpsters right there and send them right up to Rochester. So, yeah, not good.
So the glass would fall into that same category, right? Or not?
So what they do with glass is they spread that on top of the landfill. So it's not reprocessed, it's just kind of put on the landfill, but it's still handled as recycling. If they don't have to handle it and it's not put through their processing system, we would basically be charged the dumpster rental and the mileage to get up to Rochester. So that would be substantially cheaper than what we're getting credited with right now, negative credit. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
The life jacket at the owner station. Looks like it's still a little bit in limbo.
Yeah, I got the answers and, send that.
I could have guessed they would say that. I think if the Lake Association is willing to work with this, I would be okay with it. As long as it has to be decent, like if they ripped and torn it, you know.
I think, so yeah, so the Lake Association came up with some indemnification language. I would think if we're going to, the one other thing, especially after the reply from Primex, is I think they would have to, the Lake Association would have to document some type of inspection schedule where once a week somebody down there is gonna verify that we've checked to make sure that these are serviceable, and leave them to continue out there. There's always gonna be a liability to it, no matter what, because somebody will find a reason to sue for anything.
This would be sufficient then.
You know, in addition to that, I'd like to see the Lake Association say, okay, well, we're gonna provide some inspection schedule, so we're guaranteeing that once a week, one of the folks that are maybe down there doing some of the monitoring and stuff like that, we'll just inspect to make sure that, you know, you don't have a ripped life jacket that's been thrown back in there, that somebody's accidentally damaged or purposely damaged, then put back in there. I just want to make sure they're not leaving equipment down there that is in disrepair.
Or if they take one of the new ones, good ones, and leave them in there.
Like I said, I'd be okay with it as long as we set some policies, some procedures.
Some kind of monitoring system.
Yeah.
So I'd love to maybe call the Lake Association or if we need something. To see how to talk to them or.
The new Williams is the one that is the chairman of that.
But I think, or at least that Susan communicates with them, hey, we appreciate the indemnification clause, and we'd also just like to see some, you have something in your policy, however you're handling it, that is periodic inspections of the equipment, and that it's either stored away for the people, make sure it's safely stored away at the end of the year. I don't want them to keep being, okay, now can we do it, now can we do it, now can we do it? If we're just comfortable with them coming up with something that we're okay with, kind of say, okay, this is the final hurdle with the indemnification clause, and that's like a maintenance or inspection.
We make sure they're not sitting on the ground in the sunlight or, you know, just there.
So is this going to be the person that monitors the boats that's giving them out?
I have no idea.
No, that's why I'm saying we have to talk to the Lake Association. If they're willing to do it or not, we can just leave it there, get it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a third party proposing it, but I don't think he's gonna be there, take care of it.
Well, I guess we want to talk to the Lake Association sometime and see what they're willing to do, and they may want no part of it, or they may be all for it.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Are they coming in for the grant or no? Anytime soon? Is that grant all done?
I thought it was due.
It's been signed.
It's been signed, but it's gonna, you know.
I'd just say, just have them tell them they need to come and talk to us about this.
Yeah, hey,
Is this the watershed you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're meeting, they're finalizing the contract, and then they're coming to you for signatures. Saying that
reach out to Gabriel and ask her, you know, to do that.
Okay. Next thing is to authorize the chair to sign the demolition grant paperwork, which I thought was already done, but, it's a grant by, the Glen Greenwood's doing for the science building.
Make a motion to approve, to authorize the chair to sign any and all documents related to the demolition grant for the science wing of the Sanborn Cemetery property.
Second.
Second by Ollie. Discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Before we finish with that, too, in the packet was the information about the particular grant, how it's going to be paid for or paid with. And at some point we need to.
Yeah, we need to determine whether or not we're gonna pay it as a town and then seek the reimbursement.
I don't think we have to pay this.
There's a question because if they wanted to get started before the grant money actually started flowing towards them, sometimes the town will take on the expense and be reimbursed by the grant, and that was the question, whether you'd be willing to do that.
I thought we did talk about that, and I think it was Chief Powell said that that's what we normally do with grant with the fire station.
Yeah, but that's a public entity, I don't think that's appropriate for private. This is a for-profit building company, which I think the fact that they're gonna come in and do a great job and, you know, maintain the historic character of the building while providing housing is great, but I don't think it's appropriate for the town to be paying the money out front for a for-profit organization that's conducting.
Okay, I got it.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah,
So, the chief of it tell them to hold off.
Yes,
It takes a little long for the process, because they gotta wait for the grant to be approved, and then, you know, bill comes in for the grant that gets paid.
Yeah.
And that's paying, you know, the first 10 grand, and then waiting 6 months to get paid for by the grant.
If the generator is any example, and that's, yeah. Sorry.
and the next one talks about the watershed management.
And see, that's when I thought we were talking
And
about.
daily bills will be reimbursed or wait until the grant comes in, same question.
Well, again, I go to what Chris mentioned, is the difference between what's happening in town.
That's what I was looking for. Two different things.
yeah, this is something that will benefit to the town property. I think that's a whole different animal, this is a for-profit company, so I have no objections to the town paying this up front and then waiting for the grant reimbursement.
If we check and we were both confused, and we were thinking it was the watershed, not the demolition of the science building.
Yeah, the demolition, that's not, I'm sorry, that's not the one, I've got two in a row here, and we skipped ahead. But the watershed management is the one they want to pay us in advance if they can, they're not to that point yet. So does that make it different for you?
Guess my response is, let's wait till after next week. 'Cause
It's not anyway.
Yeah,
So you want that's
I
not.
don't think,
desktop scanners, Block 5 recommended the ones on the picture. It says 4 to start, where are the 4?
Town clerk's office, Lori's desk, my desk, and
and all,
It's a big difference of 200, but I think it's well worth it.
sorry, Paula's.
Hold on. Okay,
But not me, plan. She made a mistake.
Yeah,
so it's
it is.
Robin,
Rob, Tori, me, and,
Tammy.
so we got 3 on the right side of the building.
yeah, I mean, if you don't start it,
You kid.
but we're gonna need them, I can imagine, because we all have a lot of things to file. This is anything that would ordinarily would go into the file, it's not like this.
yeah.
Make a motion to approve and authorize, buying Fujitsu scan snaps, the money coming out of our funds.
Again, I would only say that we're gonna give this a week.
No, this is coming up.
This is gonna be something that has to be addressed in a week.
We have to just put it back to.
So I'll second it.
Discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The IT contract, we sent out an email about it, and that was approved to sign it, but we want to do a vote here. That name's Block 5 again, it's the carrier. They were roughly $3,000 more, but they covered a tremendous amount more than the other company, and they're local. We know what we're getting. The other company was in Pennsylvania. So it was a unanimous decision of everybody looked at it to go Block 5.
My only concern, I just looking at it really quick, you have companies from Pennsylvania, they limited to 10 hours free tech support. That alone kind of sparked my, concerns. I think Block 5 is done incredible work. My only issue, I think, the motion was to send it to certain people to return to the board with a recommendation. I think we should be doing stuff through emails. There was no, Block 5 wasn't going anywhere. They were still providing our IT. They were willing to wait 3 months, whatever needed. I just don't think we should be doing stuff that way. We're supposed to come back to the board, and here it is, and I think that's the way we should do it. And I'll make the motion to approve a 5-year contract with Block 5 as stated in the contract, and authorize the chair to sign all documents.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. New business. The New Hampshire versus 3M subpoena is being handled by council.
I just gave you a little update on what's going on with that. It's still hanging out there. She's working with other towns, a lot of people have the same exact subpoenas.
I wonder if does anyone know if it's going to be a class action at this point? Before we start spending, we got to answer this.
I think this is what that's over. The state's already started a class action against 3M and some other company.
So why do we have to provide
The
legal?
It's the attorneys for.
The state is asking
I think they're trying to decide how big of a problem they have, because they want to know the sites, they want to know numbers. So I think they're trying to say, okay, if there's 30 people that have the problem, we're not going to pay millions and millions if there's 30,000.
I just want the state to handle it for us versus paying our own legal bills, if there is a class action.
What they're trying to identify is how many of these records they're asking for the state already has. So she's basically saying all you need to supply is something that they wouldn't already have. It's not, in front of DES already. So that narrows it down.
Unfortunately, that's how big law firms work. They go wear down the people that are more vulnerable. The state can afford it, they'll try to wear down the small.
Yeah, they try to wear everybody down, and first time somebody rejects sending them something, try to get it thrown out. First Congregational Church. It's a thing in the packet for July 24th that says the Plains or Chase Field. So I think that's the first thing they have to decide.
Well, Chase Field is us.
That's what I mean. It's Chase Field. We have nothing to do with it.
It would make sense for them to go to Chase Field, because if you're going to play soccer, they're going to want a soccer field. I can want to be in the middle of the plains and all the nooks and crannies and bridges and bumps.
I think that's the time that the soccer camps are going on June, July 24th. Does anybody know?
They need to figure that out.
Okay. Yeah.
If they apply to the school people want to tell them it's.
Okay, so I guess we just want more clarification on it. Obviously, we probably have no problem with it if they give us details of.
Schools, you're going to put young adults out there, and depending on what kind of kids and all that, they could use it out.
I think we can recommend to Chase Field is probably a better option for you, but ultimately it's up to them whether they have line of school for their permit or something else. But yeah, I definitely think Chase Field's going to be a better venue for
What about Madison Field? Is that big enough for them?
them. Not for like,
Not for them, okay. Then they should be a Chase Field.
Cloverfield may be big enough. That's an alternative other than the plains. Just something to think about when they come.
The planes will be, if they use the planes, it's only 2-3 weeks before they have their craft fair on August 5th.
It's a 2-day event, so. Here's a list of the town contracts. So there's a couple on there, we have to probably start working on the accessory pretty soon.
Yeah, maybe we both of them, but May probably hope that gives us 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one's the mosquito, all the others are poison.
Mosquito one's gonna be easier.
I think even 3 months for the mosquito, but I think the appraisals would be maybe 6 months, I don't know, what do you think?
I think you ought to go the 6 months on the mosquito too, because they have to do a lot of state stuff to, if we pick somebody, we need to pick them long before that date, because of the state permit, so we probably want to pick them, like October or something.
And then we'll have it for the budget too.
Right, so they've got time to do all their state permits. Looks like all the rest of them are falling apart. Sanborn Head, well water is 2023, but it's open-ended, so.
Can I ask on this one for the testing? I know when we talked about, we did the museums, you still had no problem about that. I think this building and the fire station should be tested. As best my knowledge, neither one of them have been tested for PFAS.
Fire station has. I mean, that's been the biggest culprit. In fact, one of the things I just got was they wanted to know if the fire station filled in all the test wells when they built it. And so now we're gonna have the expense of putting those back in.
I don't think we paid for those, to put those in the first place.
And they don't want them just there, they want them.
No, I know. Yeah, they want one there too.
Can the chief and the public works director get the results of the fire station?
I've got them.
Can they be forwarded, so they can see what is the water?
Well, we're actually waiting on this next round of tests to see if there are any changes, which I think they're gonna have in a couple of weeks, is what it sounds like.
We've got it a little more time because they just got like 7 more samples back.
The plastic across the street is negative again, which is a good thing.
But in this building, was this tested or no?
I think it was.
I think it is.
The levels to be required to go again.
Yeah, anything that's below a certain point, they should.
I just figured if we do the bottom, I think we want, if we're checking the museum, we should be checking this building. People in India using it.
Yeah, DES kind of stretched their limits and, like they did Bakey School, they did several things that were not in our scope of doing. And part of the reason for the test was they want to once again prove that the water is going right to left as we said.
Like I said, I just think about employees, I think it would be worthwhile, make sure at least this building was.
We're going to do all town buildings?
At least in this area, around the plains, if we're checking that building, I just feel these buildings should be tested. And that, up to the police or DPW, the police is all in down the other end, but.
We don't drink the water anyway, bottom water. I can ask them to do that.
All right, well, why don't we find out what kind of money we're talking if we just do all the town buildings instead of right here in this area. Contract with this water sampling. And the next one's the adult. A memorandum from the library. I haven't read this yet, so.
Well, I think we should also look at just put it on the schedule, definitely.
Okay. And Phil, you read this, right? You know the library memorandum?
Correct.
Okay, you're okay with it?
Everything are.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's really just more than that, and it's nothing to do with it.
Public comment number 2. Correspondence. I think that's all, everything. Residents in an industrial zone exemption application.
I can see that.
Yeah, this one is for, yeah.
Okay. And we have the district, so all those are okay. The appointments for conservation. You want to bring them in?
I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay.
Hopefully, so.
Yeah, you will when you see them. So we want to bring both in.
Okay, bring them in.
This is one of your committees.
I'd have to put a day meeting on Thursday.
Approval of minutes for February 27th, public and non-public. Second. Discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Actually, there was just one thing that I thought, you put a FOIA request instead of FOIA on the agenda.
Meeting on March 13th, so far there's nothing on schedule. Eliminate it? I think it was. Yeah. Everybody okay with it? Okay. No meeting March 13th.
Can I just want to see your records?
Sure. You get the key?
Then we're having a non-meeting meeting with the councilor CHDC about the housing support next Monday at 11.
Did we talk to the HCC?
I sent it out to them, they were the one that did it in the first place. When the attorney was available, so I sent it out today to everybody. This is probably rescheduled.
Okay, so
We just need to figure out if it can classify as a non-meeting, or if it has to be classified as a posted meeting and go into non-public session.
I think we post it, go into
It's the safest to do.
well, they can ask Honey that question, I guess.
So except we have to post it in advance.
So that's, say it again, it's Monday at 11?
Yeah,
That should work for me. This coming Monday.
yes. Town hall will be closed election day. Meetings with department heads and committees, March 27th, 9 a.m. Presentation of the town buildings by the DPW director, April 24th. Public hearing on the roads, May 8th at 6:30 p.m. So does anybody have anything else? Do you have anything for non-public? Anybody? So, just remember next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow's election day, please show up. Please vote. Have a good night.